Gavin Mcinnes is always one of my favorite commentators. Seems like he always has something entertaining and funny to say. I'm not sure how many people know this, but he is actually one of the co-founders of Vice magazine. But thankfully, he got tired of their leftist cuckery bullshit and he left that magazine in the mid-2000s. Clearly, politically, he went completely the opposite direction from Vice magazine, and this is a compilation of some of my favorite clips.
Now, you are a woman.
I am.
How long have you been a woman for?
Ooh.
A while. 20s?
A while now, yeah.
Okay. So this, I just find it amazing that you guys are half the population, and we know so little about you.
Yeah.
The first thing that I've always wondered is why you guys can't do machine gun sounds.
Oh, I don't know. I think I can do machine gun sounds.
Okay, I'll demonstrate, and then you just mimic it. Ready?
Okay. I think I'll spit everywhere.
That's fine.
Maybe we can't.
That's just a farty sound.
Maybe we can't.
The lips aren't involved. No, don't do that. It's.
I'm spitting everywhere.
Go.
On you, potentially.
Spit all you want.
I can't do it.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you know this, and you might want to tell other people in the women community, but pew pew is not a laser gun.
Pew pew.
Yeah, that does not count. We're
No?
not gonna, no. A laser goes.
I can
Oh,
do
that's
that.
pretty good. Oh my God, can you teach other women how
I
to do
will.
that?
I'll take
that
it
would be
with me.
wonderful.
What is your job?
I'm a graphic designer.
Are you gay?
I am queer.
Oh, you don't use the term gay?
Well, I'm not gay, I'm bisexual.
Oh, I've always been suspicious of bisexual. It seems like a phase.
Oh,
I
well,
see a lot of old bi people.
well, you're pretty ignorant.
Okay, well, this has been very enlightening.
We're ready for a woman president. I don't think we're ready for Hillary Clinton.
But she's a woman.
Well, that doesn't mean she should be president.
So it's more. You have to be more than just a woman to be a viable candidate?
No, I just think it should be the right woman. And my personal opinion is it's not Hillary Clinton.
So just being a woman isn't enough?
Nope.
We are so horny that we're sort of like bulls at the rodeo. The second the gate comes open, wagum, let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
Women are totally different.
I completely agree.
It's like a lamb in a field. You have to go, hello, hello, shh, hello. And maybe from 40 feet away, maybe have some lamb food. And go, hey, Buster, hey. And then just take your time. I mean, right off a good 20 minutes. Sometimes you got to give them a fucking massage till your hands hurt.
That is so smart.
And that applies to everything, even pussy eating. You don't just come in like a pig at the trough.
No, that's true.
So I recommend coming in and doing absolutely nothing for maybe a minute, just to add an air of suspense. So you're just sitting there.
I've always been dubious of Jeb because his wife cannot speak English. And it's clear that Jeb cannot speak English. Heretic is a noun. What he meant to say was, I'm going to say something, and it might be heresy. So this guy's been speaking Mexican for so long that his own English language is atrophying, and he's forgetting how to speak America's mother tongue.
I see.
The guy is a scourge.
Now, wait a minute. Now, tell me, though.
Get the fuck out of here, man. You want to fuck me down? Yeah, you want to.
Overall, it was a really fun night, and I cannot recommend violence enough. It is a really effective way to solve problems.
It seems like feminism has said, women, you're freed from the kitchen, and then it took them out of the frying pan into the fire, and they're just sitting in a filthy apartment, eating takeout food, getting used and abused by men. I've always said New York City is an elephant's graveyard for ovaries because women come here thinking it's empowered to get fucked by tons of guys and then thrown in the trash. That's the thing about all this feminism.
Story.
Men win. With free love and bra burning, we got tons of sex and jiggly tits. And I've even had women, one time this woman was like, Jewish women especially seem particularly raunchy, and she was like, oh, fuck me, I'm your fucking whore, I'm human garbage. The one deal breaker, and I'm sorry ladies, but you have deal breakers too, unbelievably thin hair. Like when you can see the whole skull. And I don't want to get to a feminism where that's beautiful, because it's haunting. I dated a girl who had fake tits, and she sat me down, we had a talk, where she told me I had to pay more attention to her breasts. I mean, women weren't even allowed to call it vibrators
I know.
a generation ago.
It was a massage tool.
Now you go, there's a sex store every fucking 20 feet. You can get the Pearl Rabbit. Chicks keep them in their purses. Shit, half the time they have one in them right now.
That's not true.
No, but
Of course
it
not.
does happen. You do get those ones that stay up there, and it takes like 20 hours to get an orgasm. You just be, having your Cobb salad and going,
But what about these angry women, angry feminists, or what? You don't want them raising kids, right? You don't want fucked up kids being raised by these angry women.
Yes, you're talking about a handful of cunts, but what's happening is these women like my wife, instead of meeting me and having 3 kids, they're going, I guess I should be in the workforce because men are women and women are men. So she goes into the
So you
workforce.
think they should rely
she comes
on
up with
men?
some stupid Converse idea, and everyone is just sitting pinching the bridge of their nose going, yeah, that's not going to work. We can't use Rolling Stones music in a commercial. It'd be like $3 million. You know what I mean?
Views.
Can you name one?
He's sexist.
In what sense?
The fact that he doesn't support abortion and the woman's right to choose.
But I think a good 50% of women in America are also pro-life.
A lot of women aren't.
Right, but if 50% of a group is something, then...
I'd like to see those statistics.
All right, well, if hypothetically 50% of the women were pro-life, would it still be sexist to be anti-abortion?
I'd really like to see your statistics.
I know, but hypothetically, if I was right...
I don't go by hypothetical.
Well, we don't have a computer here. We can't look it up.
So I can't answer your question.
All right.
Yeah. It's a huge problem now because they want to be the kid's friend rather than be the parent.
I agree with you.
Well, let's not pretend we can control kids. These are adults, and if they want to sneak off to what is essentially a drunken orgy, then you can pretend you can control them. You can withhold the money, but you work at a gas station 10 shifts. You got enough to go down. I got in a lot of trouble the other day for simply saying a hypothetical scenario. Your son and your daughter, on their own accord, snuck down to what is essentially a drunken orgy. Who are you more worried about? And you're obviously more worried about your daughter. But this has become a sexist thing to say.
Well, hang on. I actually have those comments because you created a bit of a firestorm. All weekend long, people have been commenting about it. Let's go back to the video. This was our Audience Edition show on Friday, and this is what Gavin said.
My daughter, there's no way in hell she's going there. But with my sons, I hope they have a great time. And with women,
alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah,
Boys
one
can
a
wind
year.
up in a hospital
That happens
bed.
everywhere. That's youth. Getting pregnant is much more harmful than having some uncomfortable sex and getting mugged. The women there are human garbage whose parents don't love them.
Nice jacket, Gavin. Where'd you get that?
Gavin, that's going to backfire on you because those same guys that are going down to spring break and learning how to do that, they're the ones that are going to date your daughters.
Yes.
So you don't want them to have this type of a reputation.
This is the problem with all this big picture talk, like we're all Stalin and we can control the universe. Spring break is going on, okay? Promiscuous sex is going on. The idea of consensual sex down there is awash. It's a gray area. Now, if a boy...
What do you mean by that?
When a woman has had 10 beers shotgun down her throat, then she...
So you think it's okay that then it's not rape or sexual assault?
And you think it's okay to send your sons down there?
That's what's happening. The males are sexually assaulting
females.
Wait a minute. If a woman chooses to drink all of that, assuming she's making the choice to funnel that beer,
right,
and she goes back to this guy's hotel room and they hook up,
This is what everyone says. Everyone goes, what about the sons? Your sons are out there raping chicks. First of all, if it's easier for people to think about, focus on the 100-milers that you talked about who come in from out of town. You sent your daughter into an area where people, the dregs of society, are coming in from 100 miles away and preying on these wasted girls. Now, yes, sons are having sex with women that is in a gray area of consensual. That's not great. I'm not bananas about that. But the son doing that is a very unfortunate, gross, sad, pathetic thing. A daughter doing that, oh my God, it's the end of the universe. She can get pregnant.
So you say there's a double standard?
Yeah, or the male.
There is a double standard. It's called different genitalia.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but the male. Where's the male? The male has to impregnate her, Gavin.
Of course, but one is worse than the other. You're the one missing stuff.
But those are the kind of guys, when I was single, I avoided when I was dating. Because I didn't want
avoiding
them to have...
after 14 beers.
Well, I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
You know what?
Because
That's what I'm screaming.
Because I had a father and a mother that
We all
me
have
not to do
fathers
that.
and mothers. You know the kind of crazy, stupid stuff we all did as teenagers?
I know, but Gavin, it's different now. It's so different
Yes,
now.
that's also my point. These kids grow up with porn. Third base, if any of us saw what third base is today, we would have to wash our eyeballs for a fortnight.
Part of it, yes, you say you didn't do that and wouldn't do that, but...
All right, let me move on really quick.
I went to spring break, but I didn't see what I saw in Panama City and the stories I heard from the police officers happening on the beaches of America.
Exactly.
I had never seen footage like that. And
Right.
That's the difference.
It's happening. It's
social
happening.
media. And the kids don't seem to care.
All feminists should move to the Middle East and get to work.
I mean, if I was a feminist, I wouldn't be putting up white supremacy stickers. I'd be putting up stickers saying, "Get Sharia out of America," or "We don't want your burqas here," or "Honor killings are dishonorable." That's a good one.
Burqas and hijabs, people can wear that. That's a religious expression thing. That's not.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Okay, if the burqa is just religious expression and it's perfectly fine, why is it black polyester in the Middle East? Why are you in a bin bag, as Billy Connolly puts it? Why isn't it flowing white gauze or a fresh cotton? It's clearly meant to punish the woman and make her suffer. And it impairs your vision. It's a form of oppression. But feminists in the West seem more concerned about high heel shoes, which woman wears a choice. But a burqa is not a choice. It's illegal not to wear one. And all over the Middle East, Sharia law dictates a woman cannot show her body.
I'm not from that culture, so I would rather not tell them what to do right now.
We've got 3 million Muslims in America today. We've got places like Dearborn, Michigan, which are basically fifth columns for Islam. So it is here in America.
It is here.
And in the UK, we just had a child pedophile ring going on that wasn't investigated by the police because they didn't want to appear racist.
We're a nation of immigrants.
What? So it gets to the point where you can lie about rape because you're raising awareness. Thanks, Mattress Girl. You're just stopping doing a thing. That's why I don't get when women complain about being fat, by the way. Can't you just not eat? Just don't do a thing. You're happy to fight anyone, including lunatics with knives. We have things like fart rape. And ha ha ha, isn't it funny to see someone in history being all drunk and shit, right? Of course there are people who still believe that Ahmed had a clock. Try to do my part, I say, yup. That's not bad. And Heard Avenue? What are you talking about? And he'll go, I'll inevitably ask, how long have you been here, by the way? Oh, about 35 years. I've even not paid attention to my kids because I was looking at pictures of my kids on my phone. Apples tasted disgusting back then. They only got sweet like one generation ago. They used to just taste like potatoes. People didn't put them in pies. Some of my best thinking is on the bus. We don't think anymore. How do we come up with ideas? You ever notice when you see old pictures of people, they're all fucking cross-eyed?
Oh, history is that of immigration.
No, it's not. And I'm screaming at me as much as I'm screaming at you. We all share this brutal addiction.
They assimilate.
No, they don't assimilate, you... I'm not going to say retard, very dumb person. I actually prefer handicapped people to people who say immigration myths. Looking at year-old viral videos. When someone says, I was raped, your first thought is, who farted? Oh, ki hal chale yaar, tik-tak, pyari lurki. Okay, shukriya. Who hafiz? It's you dipped in you sauce.
The crime rate got down.
No, it doesn't. The crime rate goes up, okay? You should just keep having sex with women, using them as a colostomy bag for your semen for their entire lives. Slut walk her way well into her 40s where she can have a lonely life with her dog. Like, we don't like short hair. We don't like Birkenstocks.
I don't know. I used to date this girl. She had a shaved head. She was hot as fuck.
When you fuck them from behind, it looks like a dude.
It does.
I don't like that. That's
like a
rape.
Very small dude with a big ass.
Fucking a fat 12-year-old boy.
You like regular natural tits?
I like it's like my buddy Trevor said. He goes, when I was 20, I dated a girl with droopy tits, and I hated it, but I sure wouldn't mind fucking with him right now. Like a girl doggy style, and they're hanging down like fucking bags and swinging.
I like that?
I couldn't look at them or I'd come.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, when you get older, your spectrum of attractiveness increases, and you're like, ooh, I'm fucking from behind. I can sort of smell poo. I love it.
Oh, really?
Just a faint whiff. Yeah, don't you like a woman's ass in your face?
I like a woman who washes that ass first.
I want queefs. I don't break for queefs.
You know, like you're fucking girl and you hear that and they sort of want to stop.
Yeah,
I'm fucking,
I don't break for it either.
That's like I'm driving down the highway and someone goes, hey!
There is a huge supply problem with xenophobes and racists. The demand is there, but they don't exist. So they're trying to find anything remotely, they're not going to get racist, but maybe we could find Islamophobic. In fact, that's why Tapper said, how about you say that about blacks? Can you say that? Can we find us a Gargamel? Because we're all Smurfs and we're looking for a cartoon bad guy. But the truth is, there is a problem with Islamophobia in this country, and it's Islamophobia-phobia. We are so petrified of offending people we're at war with that we bend over backwards. A student has an uncomfortable afternoon for bringing what looked like a bomb to school, and the president is on his Twitter saying, don't be mad, you want to come over? Blacks in Harlem are getting educated, and it's kicking ass. And the left is floundering because they like blacks as their little pet victims. And when the free market helps them, they go, wait, don't help my victims, that's mine. And I saw the New York Times headline, it said, though charter schools thrive in Harlem, it's not a fix-all. And the article was basically saying not all black kids can go to charter schools in Harlem, so they're not that great.
Oh, that's hilarious. Open up more charter schools.
Yeah,
right?
let's have more of them. You know, he personifies this sort of fake beta male comedian with the cardigan and the, oh, I'm such a mess, I'm so fucked up. And these guys fuck 20-year-old girls while complaining and scratching their heads and going, I'm a mess. I had some chick, a friend of mine, 39, her physician said, ooh, 35, getting kind of late. And she said it to me like, can you believe that, sexist pig? And I go, he's a nerd. He has Asperger's. He's not sexist. He's telling you about your fucking vagina. What? She told me that the managing editor, who looks kind of like Jimi Hendrix, but it's a woman, she would cry herself to sleep at night because she waited too long and her ovaries dried up. And I feel like screaming at her, your whole agenda is telling women that they're men and they don't need kids and they'll be fine without kids, and you don't even believe that fucking shit. I used
That's not ruining sex. That's being able to express your needs.
Is a turnoff. I
But it's
used to
also
go your way. When I was in college, I tried the whole, can I put my hand here? Can I put my hand here? Their pussies would be as dry as the Sahara Desert.
There's
then
levels
I started,
to that.
one day I was just fucking a girl and I said, who's your daddy? And she started writhing in ecstasy and I went, okay, let's pursue this vein. And then next thing you know, I'm choking them, plugging their nose when I fuck their mouths, calling them whores, slapping them. And I didn't get more laid than when I started to become a fucking domineering asshole. I got an email once that said, thank you for raping me last night. Heterosexual sex is like a snake grabbing the mouse, and if you've ever seen it, when it sinks its fangs into the mouse and the mouse just sort of goes, ah. They want a snake to take over. They don't want, okay, first of all, I like my anus licked, and then that's for about 1 minute, and then go work on my clit, and then do in and out and in and out.
Permission-based sex can still be super raunchy and super juicy.
Okay, I want you to break in here and violate me, and then ask me what I want next. Good sex is right on the verge of this is going to court. You're like Icarus. You want to fly close to the sun, but
not for everybody.
I thought I was fucking a girl in her ass, and it went into her cunt, and it actually went into his condom. And
inside.
So I'm looking down at her.
How loose is his condom? What is it, a fucking trash bag?
I was harder than him, I guess.
Sense.
Path of least resistance. So I'm looking down at
You're making things
like,
up.
I swear to God,
you got inside his condom.
Yep.
So you're using the condom
no one ever
as
believes
a
me about this
container so that you guys could rub dicks together.
That wasn't the plan, but I was like, I'm fucking this bitch's ass, and I look down and I see an asshole, and I'm like, how many assholes does this woman have? I'm in at least one of them, and then I reach down and I feel a condom on. You're pushing and pushing and pushing, and then you sort of feel. It's like two mobsters digging a hole for a body, and their shovels clink. Like you don't fucking care. You're at work.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
What's this girl doing the whole time? Going, what the hell just happened? Like Donald Sutherland in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Well, she's got two dicks in her vagina. She's fucking, whoa, Buster.
Listen.
She was from Malta. I go, I didn't have a condom on. I have a condom on. And then I pull out and I bust a nut on her butt. Women are bleaching their anus. You know how many men have gone, she's almost perfect, but her anus is brown. So we're splitting up. I find strip clubs to be a real sort of a cathedral of worship for women. It's seen as a sexist place, and I think when women go there, they think everyone's going to be going, ha ha ha, look at that fucking naked bitch, ha, pour beer on her tits, yeah. But I find women are shocked to see what it is, where it's like a church, where men are just staring in awe. They're not talking. They're very quiet. They just sip their beer. And women just put their asshole in the guy's face, and he's just sort of sipping his beer, just going. And a woman who takes good care of herself, her anus does look beautiful. Now, you say a man. If I was to put my ass in your face, you would need 100% of your willpower not to throw up. I've got hairs all around it. I probably have hemorrhoids. My bag hangs down like a turkey's gullet, and it's got sporadic hairs like a
It's about
a
how you
dying
appreciate
Darth Vader.
bodies, though, because bodies can be quite beautiful, and it's who.
So you're one of these people who believes that fat people are beautiful.
Yeah, they can be.
But that's. Can we at least agree it's unhealthy to weigh 500 pounds?
Yes, of course.
So when we glorify everyone and say everything is beautiful, it's your muffin top hanging over your big gunt hanging over your belt is wonderful. You're actually encouraging obesity. What's the matter with beauty? And it's not like men are picky. All these standards are.
I think it's about encouraging health. Some people are healthy at different sizes, and
No, you're not healthy when you're fat.
500 pounds is a different story. But I'm saying there is
280 ain't great either.
There is.
Well, I just feel like I don't understand why men get blamed for these unattainable beauty standards when we're fucking pigs. Even the catcalls today are fucking pussy catcalls. They're like, hello, yo, you're so beautiful, God bless. What?
What's wrong with that?
It's pussy whip. You're supposed to say, that ass just ruined my day. Or, I would fucking suck the dick. I would love to kiss. Well, tell me a fire. I'm genuinely interested. Tell me a fire.
I mean, sexual assault is still an issue.
More men get raped than women. So feminism, we need feminism because too many men are getting raped.
Too many people are getting raped. That's part of it.
Okay, that actually makes sense. We need feminism because more men are getting raped than women, and we need to bring that number down.
We need to bring all numbers down around rape and sexual assault.
Well, the cases of rape are plummeting over the past quarter century. All crime is going down. Okay, so, but then feminists should be outside prisons going, this is out of control. Stop prison rape. Stop prison rape. Leave men alone. Leave men alone. I cannot picture that.
Yeah, well, I think that there should be more.
Okay, so men getting raped is one fire that we need feminism for. Give me another one. Women in the hood love being catcalled. Black women love it.
Not all of them, no.
I'm a libertarian for everything but open borders. I don't understand why they want open borders.
Well, because we feel like the people in the other countries got a shitty deal. They got a bad roll of the dice, and they're stuck in this really
roll of the dice.
Stinky
Evolution
spot.
is a roll of the dice.
Evolution from Mexico?
Mexico sucks because of Mexicans. What have they contributed to society in the past 100 years?
Burritos,
That's
Chipotle.
what Vicente Fox said. All religions are the same.
Well, I think
except for Muslim religions, because they have such a severe problem with inbreeding that they've gone backwards in time.
Oh, you just did it again, huh? I see what you did.
I see what you did there.
What you're doing. You're fucking
No, look
around.
at Iran in 1965 and look at Iran now. They've gone backwards in time.
Well, a lot of that has to do with war. A lot of that has to do with all sorts of fucked up shit that's going on in the Middle East.
Marrying your first cousin is what it has to do with. Can I get a bucket to piss in?
Yeah, well, you can go piss. There's a bathroom right out there.
It's the dominant narrative in America is white people are evil, white people suck, we should be ashamed of ourselves, and
I don't think we should be ashamed of ourselves. I think that we should take responsibility for the system that we've created.
The best system in the world?
We do not have the best system in the world.
Who has a better system?
There are many European countries that are much better off than
Oh, you
us.
mean like the European countries with a higher density of whites, like Northern Europe?
That's one way to phrase it, I guess.
You don't mean Turkey.
No.
You don't mean Eastern Europe
No.
with the communists. So the only time you can come up with a system that's better than America, it's a country that's more white than America. I don't understand.
I don't know what to say to that.
So the reason whites are doing well is because we cheated.
Yeah.
But if you look at the data of Asians, for example, you will find way more Asian privilege than there is white privilege. Asians make way more money than whites. They're way more educated than whites. They are less likely to experience any kind of crime than whites are. They're less likely to die at work than whites are. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, they suffer from a different sort of racial stereotyping.
Well, they don't suffer. They're kicking our ass. Everything you can say about white privilege is more true with Asian privilege.
Asian privilege, I wouldn't call it Asian privilege.
Well, it fits all the criteria of white male privilege.
What do you mean by that?
They get better jobs. They get better educations. No one sees them as threatening. Everything that you can say that whites cheated to get is more prevalent in an Asian society. Okay, let's drop that. I guess it's not going anywhere. Okay.
Are men being discriminated against?
Yes, clearly. I mean, the data shows it, from danger in the workplace to alimony payments to all these perpetual myths that, like, women make less money than men. And we accept it because we can take it on the chin. We're very nice guys. But I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of the way we're portrayed in sitcoms. I'm getting sick of the way fatherhood is trivialized and single motherhood is put on a pedestal, because it's bad for America. And I used to think women were too stupid to understand this, but let's treat them like grown-ups and say sexism in 2014 is a myth, and we're going to have to get back to what matters, and what matters is fatherhood.
Okay, so you're saying that alimony is totally skewed because men end up paying more of it, although women earn a lot more money now than when the laws and the rules were kind of set in place.
40% of women are breadwinners in America, in American households. 90% of the alimony payments are by men to women. Yeah. The numbers don't add up, and women should be able to do the same math that men can do. No?
Jill?
I think your math is bad. Women are 40% of breadwinners in American households because of so many single mothers. You have a lot of women that were never married in the first place when they have children. So they
and they choose that lifestyle, and that's child abuse.
Well, they don't have anyone to pay those alimony payments to. What? Alimony payments are gender neutral. Plenty of women pay alimony payments to husbands. And same with child support payments.
No.
Madonna lost $76 million on her failed marriage to Guy Ritchie.
She's not your typical broad. Look, the alimony concept was invented when it was the Nona cooking a spaghetti the whole life, and then she gets a band. She goes, "I made spaghetti for you guys my whole life, and now I don't know have the skills." But now that women are working in the real world,
I didn't realize that's what it was. I'm so glad.
Yes.
I didn't realize alimony was invented in Italy.
Yeah,
it was invented for.
It was called alimonia.
It was invented for old-fashioned moms. We got new moms. You want equality? You don't get alimony. Sorry.
When men actually petition for for custody of their children, they're very likely to get it.
What?
That's actually not true.
That actually is.
That is total bull.
When men actually request custody of their children, they almost always get at least joint custody.
Men always lose custody battles.
There's a huge... and they almost always get joint custody. I mean, there's a very big difference.
There's a massive bias against men on custody battles. We reward single moms with welfare payments.
Okay, but let me
reward destroyed families.
Hold on just a second.
To see you survive off of welfare payments. It's not like women are living high on the hog with their, $300 a month to care for their children.
It's not $300 a month. Welfare with food stamps and more than 3 kids is more like $1,200 a month.
Okay, so Jill, let me ask you this: is sexism dead?
No, sexism is not dead. Sexism is alive and well. If you look at the statistics, even among American women, which I know one of Gavin's talking points is that if you want to find sexism, you have to go abroad, and American women are just fine. American women do make less money. Yes, the gender gap has been pretty much not entirely erased, but it's been very much condensed among young single women without children. But as soon as
they make more money, young single women without children. That's more money than men.
That's what she's saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying they make more money.
How do you argue with someone who just keeps making up figures?
I'm not making up figures.
Single women without kids make more money than men.
Figures? Like, which figure do we trust? Because the president has been talking about 77 cents, that women make 77 cents on the dollar for every man. What are the figures?
And what is debunked a lot of that? And it's not just maternity. It's also men are more willing to do things like ask for a raise, and men are more willing to work in more difficult jobs that pay them a greater salary. It's not as cut and dried as, and by the way, Gavin brought up a really good point. If employers thought they could get away with paying people 77 cents on the dollar, all major companies would only hire women.
They do it with illegal aliens already.
I wish that was true. I mean,
there's another show, Gavin.
There was a really interesting study that was done, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, where they had they were looking at resumes of people applying for jobs as lab assistants, and these resumes were identical in terms of work experience and education, and all they did was change the name on the resumes from male to female. And what they found is that the male named resumes were accepted and offered higher salaries overwhelmingly versus the female named resumes. And the only difference here is the name. So I do think that there are some deep-seated sexist ideas within American society. Nobody's going out and saying, I don't want to hire a woman.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're reading a male name and they're inferring into that a level of competence.
It's prejudice. It's called postjudice. They've seen these males stay up all night. No, it's the definition of postjudice. They've noticed a pattern and they said, gee, my male employees tend to stay here all night, whereas my female employees tend to prefer to go to their daughter's ballet recital. I think I'm going to err on the side of my experience, which tends to be I'm more profitable when I hire men.
Okay, so Jill, if sexism alive, is there sexism against men?
How ridiculous is it that it's okay to say a person of color, but it is not okay to say a colored person? That is the same
proof
fucking
that
thing.
this is all bullshit.
I agree
back
with you on
then,
that.
like at my boxing gym, all the black dudes and the Puerto Ricans and the Hispanics, they're all
really good.
riffing. They're all
and the
riffing.
white people get brain damage.
They're all riffing on each other's ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're Puerto Rican. What would you know? You
You're
fucking go
allowed
back
to.
on welfare. It's a fun way to riff, and it was the way it was a generation ago with the Archie Bunkers on the docks.
Sure,
Like, look at this fucking Polak. And I believe that we were closer when we could make jokes like that and relax and be like, oh, it was on Island Time. Look at the black guy. And that's what I love about New York.
I disagree.
Like, I'm scared of women at work.
You're scared of women, period.
I don't riff at work.
They turn to sand. They hate
the
men.
sand was an
They cry
analogy to
themselves.
describe ovaries being less
fucking with you the
fertile.
way you fuck with people and you can't take it. How
No,
dare
I
you?
want to be clear. And the black women, right, at work, they don't like that they're a pariah. You know, you're in the lunchroom riffing and going, look, fag, you like hot dogs because they're cocks. And then a black woman walks in and they go, hi, Shaniqua, how are you? And everyone is walking on black woman eggshells, and that's not fun. And I don't think the black women like it either. They go, everyone was having fun until I walked into the lunchroom. I think gay marriage is a tiny contingent of bitchy gays. Most gays don't give a fuck. It's almost like...
But they want to be a woman.
You can't be a woman. You can't be a bat. You can't be a giraffe. Becoming a woman is not something you get off a shelf. What's the matter with homosexuals? Why do you hate all this shit? And I go, obviously I don't fucking care. Like if you're on a mountain and you do something to yourself, you can cut your face off. There was just a woman in the news, she decided she wanted to be blind. And she had a physician put shit in her, chemicals in her eyes. She's blind.
It's fucking insane.
I don't want to make that illegal. But I want to also say, let's not normalize this, because someone who is kind of dumb and crazy and thinks they want to be blind, now you've made it okay. So the MMA fight is a perfect example of the problem with this whole live and let live thing, because now we have a dude with tits and a fake cunt kicking the shit out of chicks.